Shalom. Shalom, shalom. All right. All right, so shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah by Hashem Yahushai, and double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well and teaching this truth and sincerity and taught us this truth, right? Barakatah Yahawah by Hashem Yahushai for this truth, right? Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad and the hopeful elect, to the Akim, Wa Akwath, and all the camps teaching the truth and sincerity by Hashem Yahushai, right? So with that, I'm going to start this lesson, right? We're going to go over Zechariah 8, verses 3 to 15. And I'm going to do comparative text, of course. Of course, you know, we got the good old KJV. And, of course, I got my GNT. You know, lately I've been using this book a lot. You know what I mean? Let me see something real quick. Before I even get there, I also got the RSV. The cover came off, of course. You know what I mean? So let's go see something real quick. I just want to see something real fast before I get this thing started. Okay, oh no, so yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with the GNT. I mean, I like the RSV and the NIV translations as well. This is the NIV right here. No cover on it, but working on it. I'm gonna put a cover on this. Well, the cover actually came off. So, but let's see some. So we're gonna go over Zechariah, chapter 8 and verses 3 to 15 because, you know, it's just been the Lord put it on my spirit to just bring it out. You know, I was just going over it, and I read 3 to 15, and I was like, yo, this is beautiful. And I was like, I got to just bring this out through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Right. Well, watch this. I like that verse right there. So all right. So we're gonna get this started. All right. All praise to the Most High. Right. Called up Palawat like Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Right. So let's get it started. All right, so this is Zechariah 8 and verse 3 in the KJV first. And I'm going to be reading from the KJV. It's a lot. And then I'm going to read GNT. And there was like certain parts in the NIV that I want to do like a comparative text to it. So I'm going to read that too. So this is, without further ado, let's get started. This is Zechariah 8 and verse 3. Thus saith Yahawah, I am returned unto Zion. Right, and we all know that Zion is Israel, right? Jerusalem, right? And will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, right? And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of Yahawah of hosts, the holy mountain, right? So it's the city of truth, right? And it's going to be the mountain of Yahawah of hosts, the holy mountain, meaning this mountain is set apart. So this is, we know mountains is governments, right? And the man that's going to be on top of this government. Let's go to Matthew 2 and verse 6. It says, and thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah, art not thou the least among the princes of Judah. So for out of thee shall come a governor, right? So mountains means government, right? And with a government comes a governor, right? So it says, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. So, right, Yahushai is that governor that's going to govern this government, this mountain of Yahawah, right? Verse Zechariah 8 and 4. Thus saith Yahawah of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age. I'm going to read this in the GNT, right? Watch this. It says, once again, old men and women so old that they use canes when they walk will be sitting in the city squares. See, that's what the Most High is gonna have you guys, you know, chilling in the cities, man, right? Like just like the good old days, right? So Zechariah 8:5, it says, and the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. So imagine that. Remember back in those days, right? A whole bunch of boys and girls playing outside. It was always, fun and dandy and all that, right? But now, right, you don't really see that. You see a lot of us are getting judged. We're getting purged out, man. Like the young ones, we getting destroyed, right? That's what's happening, right? The Most High, he, we are because we broke the laws. Now we're under a bunch of curses. So you don't really see a lot of boys and girls playing around like that, man. And the Most High loves to see that. He loves to see children having fun. You know what I mean? And we are his children, right? That's why, hey, the Most High has us turn up every month by Hashem Yahushua, right? So Zechariah 8:6, it says, thus saith Yahawah of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in mine eyes, saith Yahawah of hosts. Now I'm gonna read this in the GNT, verse 6 in the GNT. It says, this may seem impossible to those of the nation who are now left, but it's not impossible for me. Let's get a quick precept to show you that ain't nothing impossible for the Most High, right? Let's get Luke 1:37 real fast. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Luke 1:37. For with Yahawah nothing shall be impossible. See that? So with the Most High is nothing impossible. He can do all things, man. Right? Remember when you read Deuteronomy 32:39, there's only him. There's no other power that's like him. Right? He alone does all these things. Right? Mark 10. One more precept. Mark 10 and verse 27. And Yahushua looking upon them saith, with men it is impossible. Right? That's what the Most High God said right here. It says, Zechariah 8:6 in the GNT, this may seem impossible to those of the nation who are now left. So with men, right? Yahushua said, with men it is impossible, but not with God, right? For with Yahawah all things are possible. See that? All things are possible. Right? So we're going back into the Zechariah 8:6 in the GNT. It says, so, Salak. Let's go to the Zechariah 8 and verse 7 in the KJV. One second before I read that, because I saw something here that I liked. That's not what I need. I saw something that was really, really good. Okay, that was verse 12. Okay, never mind. All right, verse 7, it says, thus saith Yahawah of hosts, behold, I will save my people, right? So this people that he's talking about is the Israelites. So he said, I will save my people, because the Lord's people is Israel, from the east country and from the west country. And I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God in truth and in righteousness, right? So, the Most High is going to, gather us from the east and the west, right? Also, when you go to Isaiah, right? Watch this. Let me go to Isaiah 11:11, right? Because the Most High said he's going to gather us from all the four corners of the earth, right? Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11, it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, right? Which shall be left. Remember, we read it's a remnant of people, right? And it says from Assyria and from Egypt, from Pathros, from Cush, from Elam, from Shinar, from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. From the east, right? So you go from the east to the west, right? So that's, the Most High made a promise, right? He said, I'm going to gather you from the east to the west, right? And it says, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcast of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west, right? The west, right? They shall spoil them of the east. See that? Together they shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. Right? See that? So the Most High, he's gonna set his hand the second time to save us, right? From the east to the west. See that? I will gather my, see that? So as Zechariah 8 and 8, and I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God in truth and in righteousness, because the Most High is he's all righteous. Salaki, all righteous. Verse 9. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, let your hands be strong, ye that hear in these days, these words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of Yahweh of hosts was laid, that the temple might be built. Right? So this is of old, right? So the Most High say, even from that time till now, the Lord is telling us, he's talking to us, of course, through the prophets, through the prophecies, and of course the Lord has sent forth his servants, the prophets, again, right? So Most High is using, me as a vessel, and of course the other brothers and sisters, right? You got prophet, prophetess, right? So, we as a collective unit, we have to prophesy and tell it like it is, right? So even from that time, right, the Most High said he sent his prophets, right, to and to prophesy. We have to obey and hear these words, right? Because the Most High God said, when you read in Deuteronomy, he said, if that prophet speaketh the word that I tell him not, he gonna require it of him, right? As Deuteronomy 18 and 19, right? Roughly paraphrasing. But let's continue. So verse 10, it says, for before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out for or came in because of the affliction. For I set all men, every one against his neighbor. I'm gonna read this in the GNT. It says, verse 10, before that time, no one could afford to hire either men or animals, and no one was safe from their enemies. I turned people against one another. So the Most High, because we're cursed, he turned us against each other. See that? So and you see this, man. Even today, there's nothing new under the sun, right? We're still fighting each other. We're still fighting amongst one another, destroying each other, right? Instead of gathering ourselves together like Zechariah 2 and 1 say. That's what we're supposed to be doing, right? So let's keep reading. Verse 11, it says, but now I will not be unto the residue of this people as in the former days, saith Yahweh of hosts. So he's not going to be the same way he was before, right? Because even right now, where we have been alienated from Yahweh, right? That's what we have we have Yahweh Shai, who's the direct mediator to us to get into to talk to the Most High, right? So he said he's not going to be like that anymore. Right? Because what he's gonna do something different, right? In the GNT, this reads, but now I am treating the survivors of this nation differently. Why does he say the survivors? Because when you go to Zechariah 13, remember, two-thirds got to die, right? Zechariah 13 and 8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So see that? I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna keep reading verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my God. See that? So we're gonna be tried like gold is tried in the fire, man. Right? So watch this. Marie Sirach 2. Sirach 2. One of my favorite chapters in the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 2 and verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Right? We have to look what it says. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear Yahweh will wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear Yahweh, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear Yahweh, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Right? This is what the Lord is he's gonna give us, right? Because the Most High made a promise, and he said after those days, right, in the last days, that the Most High, when when all these things come to pass, and when we get to when we get the salvation, Most High willing, right, we are of that number. When Yahweh Shai comes and rescues his people, right, by the hand, of course, Yahweh ultimately he gets all the credit because he's using Yahweh Shai as that savior, right, to save the world of Israel, right? Sirach 2 and 11. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. Right? See that? So the Most High is gonna save us from all the affliction that we have gone through. Right? That's why I say what they say right here in verse 11. Zechariah 8 and 11 says, but now I will not be unto the residue of this people as the former days, saith Yahweh of hosts. Right? And the GNT it says, but now I am treating the survivors of this nation differently. right? They will plant their crops in peace. Their vines will bear grapes. The earth will produce crops, and there will be plenty of rain. I will give all these blessings to the people of my nation who survive. See that? So the 1/3 that survives, he's going to give you plentiful. That's why, you know, matter of fact, let's read this real quick. Let's go to Matthew. This is why it's very important to keep the law, right? Very, very important, Israel. This is Matthew 5 and verse 19. Whosoever shall break one of the least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. You 2/3, right? But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. The 1/3, right? And the 144, right? So you want to be called the greatest, not the least, right? I'm going to go in the KJV now. I'm going to read verse 12. Zechariah 8 and 12. It says, for the seed shall be prosperous. And how do we become prosperous? By keeping the law. That's what makes you prosper, right? It says, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase, right? And the heavens shall give their due, and I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things. We're going to possess all these things, man. Y'all, watch this. Psalms chapter, hold on. I just passed it. Psalms chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. And that's beautiful. So we're gonna possess the nations and the entire earth. That's the kingdom of heaven, man. When we run the earth. See that? Right? Let me go with the blessings in Deuteronomy. Watch this. Let's go to the blessings. Deuteronomy 28. Watch this. Deuteronomy 8 and verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy ground. Meaning you're gonna have many children, right? Your cities, you ain't gonna be shot in the cities no more, right? You're going to have you know, your fields are gonna be plentiful, right? The fruit of thy body, the fruit of thy ground, right? You're going to have a whole bunch of crops, you know, corn, you know what I'm saying? A cattle, all of that, right? Because it says right here, it says, and the fruit of thy cattle, see that? And it says the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. See that? So we're going to have all these blessings because the Most High said, I'm going to do something differently, man. I'm going to give them the blessings. Right, this is when we get into the new covenant, the bond of the new covenant. When you read Ezekiel the 20th chapter and the 33rd verse to verse 38, right? Mainly verse 38, right, is basically saying that we're gonna be in the wilderness, and that's when we're gonna go into the bond of the covenant, right? So let's read Zechariah 8 and 13. It says, and it shall come to pass that as ye were accursed among the heathen, right, O house of Judah and house of Israel, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong, right? We have to keep our hands strong and mighty, right? The Lord said what, man? Let me see some. This might be what I want. Hold on. This might be the verse I want, but let me just double check real quick. Salakia. Wait, is this what I want? Do I want this? 35? You know what? Yeah, let's read that. This is Psalms chapter 144, verse 1. Blessed be Yahawah my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. So our hands are going to be blessed in those days, man. Right? So we're going to have, you know what I'm saying? That's why the Most High God says, fear not. Right? Because who will rise up against me who will rise up against us against the evildoers? I'm probably butchering that. It's Psalms 94, verse 16. I did butcher it. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Right? See that? Unless Yahweh had been my help, my soul almost dwelt in silence. See that? So Yahweh is going to come and save us. Right. Look at this. Psalms 98 and verse 2. Yahawah hath made known his salvation, his righteousness hath he openly showed in the sight of the heathen. So even these heathens are going to see the salvation of the Most High. Right. When you read Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, right, it's telling you that the heathens are going to be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Right. So, hey, we know we're almost there towards the end, man. Right. We at the end. Technically, this is the end days, man. It's like a ticking time bomb. We just wait until that thing goes poof. You know what I mean? It's a movie, right? So Zechariah 8 and verse 14. For thus saith Yahawah of hosts, as I thought to punish you when your fathers provoked me to wrath, saith Yahawah of hosts, and I repented not. So again have I thought these days to do well unto Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Fear ye not. So don't have no fear. The Most High said, I'm going to help you. I'm going to save you. You're my people, as I promised to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, because he made a covenant with our forefathers down to us. So we have to keep that covenant. We have to keep these commandments. If you want to see the salvation of the Most High, you got to keep these commandments, right? Let's get this real quick. Hold on 1 second. I just thought of something real fast. I just thought of a verse, but I can't remember it now. I'm trying to remember that real quick, but I can't remember the verse. But all praise to the Most High. Matter of fact, let's get this. Hosea 1 and 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, Yahawah, and they shall come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jezreel. So see that? So we're gonna see, right? If you keep these commandments to the very end, if you endure, right, the Most High gonna bless you. He gonna give you so much that you can never, you didn't even think about it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all I want is this, Lord, and it's like, that's all you want. Like, look, I'm blessing you 1,000 times more. You know what I mean? Because, you know what I'm saying, the Most High said, listen, man, we are going to the kingdom of heaven, man. Like, just think about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not, you know, the reason why we can't really think so much like that is because we're so used to being in captivity. We can't even fathom to even think like, yo, I'm going to be riding them horses. I'm going to have pet lions. You know what I mean? I'm going to own wrestling company. You know what I mean? I'm going to own shops. Yo, I'm going to own buildings, houses, hotels, motels, cars. You know, oh, this is beautiful. You know what I mean? The day of the Lord is gonna be insane. I tell you that. It's gonna be a crazy ass day, right? Because, you know what I'm saying, like the way that it's gonna partake is that, you know, them chariots, man, it's gonna be a scary sight. To most of you people, it's gonna be a scary sight. But to us, we know that the end of the world for Esau is coming, but the beginning of the world is coming, right? Because Israel, we got next, man. Right? All praise to the Most High. You got to seek the righteousness of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Seek this righteousness, man. Right? So we have to understand that, man, that the Most High God, you know, he's for us. He's not against us, man. Right? For long, we have been against the Lord. But now it is time for us to turn back and to keep these commandments so that we can be blessed by Hashem Yahushai. Right? So, yeah, basically, matter of fact, let's get, there is one verse that I wanted to bring up. Revelation chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. See that? So if you want the blessings, you want to walk into that beautiful city, like we just read in Zechariah, where it says that the old men are going to be sitting in the streets, kids going to be playing around. It's going to be a beautiful time, man. Right? That's a forever thing. Right? The saints of the Most High going to take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever. Matter of fact, let's get that as a last verse. Let's get that. Daniel. Let's read that in Daniel real fast. This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High, which are the Israelites, shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. You know how beautiful that is, man? Let me read that verse again, because that... Whoo! Let's read it again. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Forever, ever, forever, ever, forever, ever. All praise to the Most High, man. All praises. So with that, right, hope that was edifying to you. Know what I mean? All praise to the Most High. Kalta palawaf la Yahawah Hashem Yahushai. Baraka Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. To the Akim wa Akwath, right, that's watching this and being sincere, right? Keep these commandments, Israel. Kwam Yasharala, right? Don't forget to follow my Instagram, right? Don't forget also SICARII NJNY. Don't forget to subscribe to that channel, SICARII NJNY, right? I'm gonna say it again, SICARII NJNY. Also the backup page, SICARII NJNY plus, right? All spaces, SICARII NJNY plus. Make sure you look these two channels up, right? They already terminated our first channel. They gave us one warning and they took down the channel. It makes no sense. So, you know, all praise to the Most High, right? Kwam Yasharala, Ahabatam Israel, Shalom.